Vatican II's documents. I'm not a fan. I don't like them. There were evil people. I'll play Francis's early greatest lieutenant, who did Francis's first major material heresy, Cardinal Casper, saying what they did at Vatican II. I'm going to get it, and I'm going to play it for you. That is not what this is. At Vatican II, the clip I'm going to play you is Cardinal Casper, Walter Casper, saying to Raymond Arroyo in 2015, Vatican II was us saying ambiguous but clearly a little on the other side of licit things. 55-45 or 60-40 orthodox things with a 40% opening in the possible interpretation and likely interpretation for heterodox meanings. But because of, I don't mean hermeneutic of continuity. I mean because of the way human hermeneutics work and the way that the Roman magisterium works, the tie goes to the runner. Even if it's 50% A given to a susceptible interpretation of 50% A prime, the opposite, tie goes to the runner. That is how the Roman magisterium has always worked. But I have said time and time again that the ambiguities in Vatican II, while real, while bad-willed, and Casper admits it, are not even 50-50. They're like 60-40 or 70-30, Orthodox being the majority part, heterodox. Even if they're as low as 50-50, you have to interpret tie going to the runner. Tie going to, well, we can't abrogate former Catholic teaching by way of using this. Okay? This is not that, Steph. This is not that. This is a different moment altogether. This is the Vatican coming out and saying, we're changing the pastoral practice. There's a teaching on practice. There's a practice of teaching, but there's also a teaching on practice. We're changing the pastoral meaning of blessings. It is the effing title of the document, people. The pastoral meaning of blessings. And we're not using ambiguity here. We are saying clearly the blessing of couples in irregular situations and SS couples. The confusion, different from ambiguity, is that they say without validating their status or changing in any way the church's perennial teaching. That is a change on the church's perennial teaching. That's not a change in marriage. This has nothing to do with marriage. Disclaimer, this has nothing to do with marriage. I've said it 2,500 times. The question is not about marriage. Okay? So everyone out there who listens to this show and takes it seriously, please, please, please understand. One, it's not about marriage. Two, this is not exactly the same as what they did at Vatican II. Here is Cardinal Casper talking to Raymond Arroyo in 2015, and he says that what he and Pope Francis had to do in the early part of Francis's pontificate was like the skullduggery at Vatican II. Ambiguous language. Let cardinals talk about it before the ambiguity and the heresy had been formalized. To introduce their heresies, Casper and Francis, who have been working together for decades, had to introduce the heretical language vaguely, like at Vatican II. That's not what they're doing anymore. Now they're writing documents where they're clearly owning it.
Do you see a transition here? It seemed early on, during the Synod, after the Synod, really up until about December or January, the Holy Father, in all of his interviews, he seemed to be very supportive of your proposal, making those same arguments and some. Now something has happened. He now seems to be turning away, questioning, and putting distance between your proposal and himself.
I do not.
This is in summer of 2015. What's up, Steffi? Yeah, let me finish this quote.
No, I did not speak with him. And he did not speak with me. But
What are you hearing?
And, well, Pope is free. It's free, and I'm totally free. I do not know what he wants. I do not know.
As you look at the situation now, as you see the African bishops, the Polish bishops, the United States bishops saying there shouldn't be a change in either practice or doctrine, you people writing, signing petitions, begging the church fathers not to make any changes, are you still confident that that might happen?
Listen to this.
Well, it's one side, but there are many petitions also in the other sense, and I know many cardinals, I know many bishops who are more on my side.
You think there's more on your side now?
I do not know. I do not know. And my suggestion is to find now a formula where the great majority can adhere.
Are you working on that formula?
No.
Sorry.
You do understand, when a churchman like yourself, a theologian, an esteemed...
He will later say, what he just said, he repeats the phrase and he says, what we did at the council was find a formula where the great majority can agree, and then we know what we'll do later or something.
National figure, a curial official, says,
this is summer of
proposal,
2015.
and the Pope agrees with me.
Well, I did not say
that does cause some. Well, you did say. I mean, you did say, and the quote is clearly this is what he wants, and the Pope has approved of my proposal. Those are quotes from the time.
He did not approve my proposal. The Pope wanted that I put the question, and afterwards, in a general way,
all of this
before all the cardinals, he expressed his satisfaction with my talk, but he ended not in the special question. I would not say he approved his proposal. No.
Oh, where does he actually say the money shot?
Your Eminence, for decades, you have been arguing that there needs to be mercy extended to divorced and remarried Catholics in the form of communion, granting them communion.
Mercy extended. Now, they already did that. Now they already formalized the heresy of communion for divorced and remarried Catholics. Cardinal Casper, who's being interviewed, started his Casper plan to do so in 1993. They worked tirelessly. This is 22 years later when they got their guy, Bergoglio from Buenos Aires, who the Sankt Gallen Mafia, Casper was a part of this group that went and found him. They said he's the only radical in the church that will do Casper's plan, and then the SS Union plan, and the women deacons plan.
Under certain cases. Do you feel you're close to achieving that end now, with the Synod coming and where the Holy Father is?
This I do not know, because I left it open. I did not want to anticipate the Synod and the decision of the Holy Father, and therefore it's not a firm proposal, there are questions. And I get a lot of agreements, but also a lot of critiques, and there's a tension there. Now I propose to those who prepare the Synod to prepare a text which can get the agreement of the great majority. It's the same method also we had in the Council.
So your proposal was...
Whoa.
Prepare a text. Those who prepare the Synod to prepare a text which can get the agreement of the great majority. It's the same method also we had in the Council.
So your proposal...
to those who prepare
Gonna play this.
To prepare a text which can get the agreement of the great majority. It's the same method also we had in the Council. So
hence today.
Those who prepare the Synod.
I'm just going to keep playing this.
Prepare a text which can get the agreement of the great majority. It's the same method also we had in the Council.
Thing
So
we
your
did
proposal was
also
put forward, and
in
it was...
the Council. Do you people get it? It's not difficult. It's not like, oh, now I get it. They're so hard. No, if you're only getting it now, it's because your IQ is low. It's very simple. It might look... Pattern recognition, the most basic measure of human intelligence. Smarties get stuff quicker, dummies get it later. That's fine to get it later, but I'm just saying, now it's no longer, you can't say, oh, well, I don't get it. They're admitting, in the early stages of Francis, they were just doing what they did at Vatican II. Suggest stuff, frame stuff still technically orthodoxly, but eventually, after you've secured the quorum of the majority through heteropraxy, accustom people to interpreting it in the minority way. Okay, that was Vatican II. That was how Francis operated in the 2014 Synod and the 2015 Synod, which happened 2 months after Cardinal Casper gave this interview. He said, it's the same thing we did at the Council. That's not what's happened after Amoris Laetitia. After Amor Laetitia, they stamped it. It was still kind of vague, but I got it in April of 2016. They made that heretical change, and then 6 months later, they stamped it with a dubia. Okay? And then they re-stamped it 7 years later in September with another dubia, and they were like, now this is a bunch of answers to cardinals. Yes, we are giving communion to adulterers. Yes, there is not a rule about this anymore in practice. But now they're moving on, and they've been moving on through the Synod on Synodality the last 2.5 years, to doing it for women deacons and SS unions. And Francis, in the documentary 2020, Francesco, said we need unions worldwide civilly for them. Now, that's not what's at issue today. This is on the pastoral meaning of blessings. And all I'm offering you is that what you could take to the bank that no one can gainsay is that consequentialism has always been prescribed by the church. You may not do evil so that good may come of it. You may not bless an SS couple so that where you're blessing the formal, intelligible, sexual rapport between two human beings, qua the sexual rapport between them, in order to maybe, hopefully, they'll get holy and eventually repudiate that part of their rapport with another human being, which was just blessed. That is consequentialism. That is a formal heresy.